Well, we're live, and we picked a hell of a day to take Tuesday off, didn't we?
Yeah, we fucking missed one day, and look what happens.
Fucking Dolly
Oh,
Parton dies,
Tim
Tim
Curry dies.
Curry, Peter Cullen.
Spider-Man gets involved in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And also his box office apparently, I heard someone say it broke Endgames, but Wikipedia says not yet.
See, I'll be real. Whenever I hear stuff like this, I don't know how much I'm supposed to care. Because, like, every corporation I've ever seen is like, I'm expecting more sales from this year than last year.
Yeah, I don't super give a shit other than just like it was a better movie than Avengers Endgame, so I'd like it to win, but like, whatever.
I mean, that's a low fucking bar. I'm not a fan of any, and I mean any fucking movie that wants to be like, oh, let me tell you why your time travel physics are dumb, and then fucks up its own time travel physics.
Yeah, well, I hate to say this because of who they are, but I got to give the Russo brothers a little bit of credit. Making a cohesive movie with like 60 fucking characters in it ain't easy.
I mean, neither is pimping, but it gets done.
Yeah, I know. And like they pulled it's funny. They did all their Marvel stuff like I'm not calling it flawless, but like reasonably well. And then they made The Electric State, which was one of the worst films I've ever witnessed in my entire life.
Not a big Electric State guy, huh?
Well, I've never read the comic. I've heard it's much better, but the movie was genuinely like I couldn't believe how terrible it was.
What was it? Like, what was so bad?
Uh I mean, there's a lot of stuff. First of all, it's almost 2.5 hours long, which is a long fucking time for a movie this bad. Fucking I think there was did they use AI or did they just defend it? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure there was fucking AI voice stuff in there. Um Takes a really interesting premise, wipes its ass with it. Probably its biggest sin, honestly. You know that thing? Marvel movies get accused of this all the time, even though they're nowhere near as bad about it as other movies. You know that thing that movies do where, like, every single fucking time the characters have a human moment, something funny comes in to interrupt it?
I'm sorry, say that one more time. I apologize. I got a text from my mother.
That's fine. You know that thing movies do sometimes where every single human moment gets interrupted by a joke?
Yeah, yeah.
Electric State. Every single moment of human
Where it's like,
connection in that movie gets
bang.
derailed by a joke.
And you're like, haha, look at that.
And also by joke, what I mean is more just like pop culture reference said at you.
Oh, so like
And
Spider-Man.
well, no, because Spider-Man is like generally decent at it. Also, the thing that not that Electric State is by any means the only movie to do this, but part of what bugged me about it was every single one of those references was easy. There wasn't a single joke in that movie structured in such a way where even one audience member might not get it.
Like what?
Oh, like just anytime they needed a pop culture reference, like they never referenced something from Shakespeare or like a Sidney Lumet movie or Citizen Kane. It was always He-Man or G.I. Joe's. It was always something from the 80s.
It's low-hanging fruit.
Well, it's more than low-hanging fruit. It's fruit that's already on the ground. Because like you said with Spider-Man, Spider-Man made that joke about, you ever see that old movie Aliens? That's also low-hanging fruit.
I hate that joke so much. Like that joke makes me so angry.
Well, yeah, I don't love that joke either. I did roll my eyes at it a little bit when I first saw it, but there's two things that make it different. One, it's referencing a classic movie that's really stood the test of time and doesn't scream 1980s nostalgia. And two, they referenced it because he took an idea from it and tried to use it in the fight. Whereas Electric State references He-Man because they know that you, the viewer, know what He-Man is.
Yeah, but you might also say that it was a property game because what they chose to reference were interesting things that were owned.
Is Aliens owned by Disney now? Yeah, I guess it is. But was it in 2018? I don't think it was yet.
Because didn't they also do like an at reference?
Well, yeah, but that's like, yeah, I mean, I get that's in the Disney owned Star Wars as well, but that's everyone does Star Wars references. That doesn't scream we own this property the same way.
Mm.
What does scream we own this property is the fact that in the latest Spider-Man movie, at one point we see Ned at his computer and he's got like, 7 monitors, so they've all got different stuff on them. And when they needed to fill in one of the extra monitors, they just put Empire Strikes Back playing on the monitor in the background. Like, it's not distracting or anything. It's just funny that, like, during this conversation, if you're focused on the background, it's like, oh, I know that scene from Empire.
Oh, by the way, um, you got really good shades for your pale skin, and I prefer this look than you showing up on camera with nothing. And I just need you to know that it is so much more like, oh, that's nice. That's not a giant from Skyrim. That's a person.
Oh, by the way, regarding the Skyrim giant thing, I found more evidence of your theory, something I never noticed I did before till the other day. I go up the stairs on my fucking tiptoes because my feet are too goddamn big to fit on the steps.
You have like random caveman ass tendencies, I swear.
I didn't, because, like, so I bought my Crocs recently because they finally got me. And, I'm experimenting with the two different, configurations of the strap, right?
That's right, folks. We're experimenting, if you can't tell today.
Yes, we are. So I was going up the stairs in with them, not what would you call it, sport mode, where you have the strap on the back of your heel.
You either got the Crocs in sport mode or you got them shits in chill. Like, listen, any person who I've ever seen wearing Crocs, I'm like, you got them in sport mode, and they instantly are like, they understand.
So what I tend to do is if I'm going outside in them, I put them in sport mode because, like, if they fall off, it's annoying. But if that happens in the house, it doesn't really matter. So I had them in chill mode, as you described, and I was going up the stairs trying to, like, hold my foot in a certain way so they wouldn't flop around, and I realized I was going up the stairs with my foot like this.
It was like, okay, yeah, I'm a bit of a lunk ass dude.
Well, my dad has, he doesn't have quite the same shoe size I do, but he has like one size down, so still pretty big feet.
Okay.
I didn't know this because I was like 1 when this happened, but at our old house, when they redid the stairs, he actually had the carpenter like artificially deepen the stair treads because he was sick of walking up the stairs on his tiptoes.
Whole damn family full of fucking big foot people.
Well, not the whole family, but like more than one member of them. But keep in mind, by big feet, we mean as little as like size 10.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but when you describe size 10 feet as little, there's just like an inherent little click. Now,
well,
like,
what I mean, though I did hear it as I said it too. What I mean is that we have big feet, but we have like normal big, like the kind where you can still shop at a normal shoe store.
You guys are not in like, okay, to be fair, because it's just men exclusively. It's not like a Peggy Hill style deal, and it's not like a rodeo clown style deal. But thank God you live in the 21st century. Can you imagine if like before basketball shoes were popular, just trying to get them big ass fucking like hogs? Oh, it'll be a bitch.
I have a friend who wears a size 15, and this friend more often than not has to go to specialty shoe stores. Like every now and then they can find a size 15 at a normal store, but
yeah, you're just fucked at that point. You're just
yeah. Well, even me, like I can almost always find my size, but every now and then I have to like settle for a weird color or whatever because they only had the right color in size 12 and under or whatever.
Oh, I got you.
I mean, even these Crocs, I had to settle for just black. I wanted to get them in like a really crazy color, but all the crazy colors were only like size 10 and under.
I mean, That's the thing. It's just also less material for them to work with.
Yeah.
They don't have to do as much.
Give me 1 second while I find the name of this thing I'm looking for. Prime factors, that's it. Oh, yeah, so my mom, those of you who don't know, my mom's having surgery on Monday because they found some weird growth and they want to take it out. It's probably going to be fine, whatever.
You've seen the regular show, right?
Bits of it here and there.
I'm just saying, I got a petition, considering how relevant it is to the podcast, that you just start talking like Muscle Man when it comes to your family.
Mom!
Guess who's having surgery? My mom!
Yeah, well, the reason I bring it up is to explain that we don't do this all the time, this thing I'm about to say. So, partially motivated by this surgery and partially motivated by we knew someone whose services we wanted to use, we decided to get this house professionally cleaned, right? Which we
Okay, folks, you will notice, if you look to your left, a little thing I like to call post-white guilt, where it's not necessarily race-based, it's class-based, but you can like feel the no, listen. Let me give you a disclaimer for why the activity you're seeing is about to occur, because I personally feel if you were to see this activity without any context, you would look at me in a certain light, and I would not like for that light to be portrayed upon me.
No, literally, yeah. I don't want people thinking that I'm the kind of dude who has a maid service come to his house. No, this was a special occasion thing because they told us all these protocols we need for, sterilization, and like my mom has like a fucking plastic bag with pajamas in it to wear the night before. It's a whole thing.
Wait. We'll have you guys know. They do not use a professional maid service, okay? Rosie is just a single woman, and she just works from the goodness of her own heart.
I swear to God, that might have actually been the name of the lady. So, anyway, the point is that we did something we've done maybe once before in the past, which was have the house professionally cleaned.
Okay.
And, whatever. It came out great. It looks nice. I have no complaints. That's actually the opposite. There are parts of my fucking floor that I didn't know were the wrong color.
We love that.
And it's not because I'm nasty. It's because, like, the house was clean-ish, but not spotless when we moved in, and we just fucking didn't do anything about it. But, like, my bathroom sink, like, the faucet had all this kind of stuff around it that I thought was, like, sealant that had overflowed. It wasn't. It was grime that I thought couldn't be gotten off, that they got off.
Yeah.
So shout out to whatever that lady's name was and her two people, because my fucking God, did they clean my house wonderfully.
Larry wants to let his fancy maids know that he really appreciates the quality of their service, but also wants to let everyone else know that he doesn't need maids. He just needed.
Well, no, here's the thing I learned about myself. Clearly, I do need a maid. Because I am kind of a degenerate sometimes. But anyway, this lady did something very nice for my mom, and it was very kind, and we love her very much.
We love to see it.
And she also made my house smell really good for the last 2 days. So, how much can I really complain?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hell to the motherfucking yeah.
We had to hide my dog in my room because, like, my room was the one room we left because it's all carpet. So, there aren't really stains or anything to clean. So
there's a lot of stains in your room to clean, buddy.
Hey, no. Okay, look. I may be a degenerate, but I don't make messes like that.
Like what, Larry?
Well, like the kind I'd be embarrassed to admit out loud. Because, like, if you spill a beer on the carpet, whatever, that's not very embarrassing. But, like, if you shit your pants and get diarrhea on the carpet, that kind of is.
I mean, God, I'm the one who said I was a little adverse to trying anal. And you want to go and shame me on the fucking podcast in front of everyone? Are you serious right now?
I'm not shaming you for trying anal. I'm shaming whoever you're with for not prepping properly.
Well, no, listen, I prepped as well as I could, okay? It's not my fault that God just wanted to spread my love through the room. Okay.
Anyway, my point is that in order to keep the dog out of the fucking cleaning people's hands, we gated her off in my room so she wouldn't freak out and try to eat the vacuum cleaners. And
it's really ironic to me now that I think about this out loud that more Zers, like less and less of them are doing piracy, but more and more of them are doing pegging. And I kind of feel like you're like putting your cart before your horse.
ahoy!
I'm just saying, if pegging and piracy go hand in hand. Folks.
Is it actually true that less people are doing piracy though?
I mean, just consider the increase in streaming revenue, and 100%, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not doing piracy. It just means they're not doing as much piracy.
I think. Okay, so like from my understanding, you had cable and it sucked.
I did,
and we all
and it
knew
did.
it sucked. But like we all knew though, like it was like obvious to all of us, and so we could all kind of deal with it. So we would go and pirate shit, and then they made streaming, and they're like, it's better now.
Well, it is better, but
and like we're currently in the shitification post where they say it's better now, where they make it worse and worse and worse and add ads and more tiers, and it's just gonna be extra steps. But like we're not at the obvious point that it sucks again. So I think that means naturally less people are doing piracy.
Somewhat, yeah. I certainly do it less often than I used to, but that's not like an ethics. What?
Evil.
It's not an ethics thing. It's just that now there's an app that does the shit I want. There didn't used to be, now there is. But to just, and by the way, I'm not defending any shitification, but just to give you a sense of how shitty cable was and is. So in my hometown, Framingham,
I have the hardest time doing whiteface, I swear.
True.
Or like, no, not whiteface. What the fuck's it called?
Foundation.
It's corpse paint? No, dude, because it's not foundation with me. Because my foundation is a fucking olive.
I don't know then, but anyway,
so my corpse paint essentially.
So my old hometown had like one, maybe two options for cable, and they all sucked. The one we had my whole childhood was RCN, which isn't even called that anymore. It's called something else now, but I'm dead naming it. Fuck you, RCN. So I now have pretty much every streaming service, like as in Paramount and goddamn Disney Plus and Hulu and Netflix and HBO.
How much a month are you paying?
That's the thing. I am still paying less per month for entertainment than I was for cable.
Are you paying $100 a month?
Dude, I was paying like 200 something for cable from RCN.
Okay, now don't get me wrong. RCN sounds like a bunch of bitches.
They were.
But this is really a James Cameron situation in that, like, how much are you paying now?
I'd have to do the math because some of them are like yearly subscriptions too, so that complicates matters.
You divide by 12. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, but I'm a dummy. I didn't major in math for a reason.
No, I didn't major in math. I majored in money.
Yeah, I'll look it up because some of them aren't mine. Like I have maybe 5 and my parents have maybe 5, so we share them. And then like my grandma has I think my grandma has a BritBox account, so I guess technically I have that too, even though I've never used it.
Hold on one sec. I gotta check out my soup.
Okay.
Soup.
Soup. The American people cry out for soup. It is a deep and profound injustice within our society that Dolly Parton is dead and Donald Trump is still alive. He's the other catty 80-year-old bitch who wears too much makeup.
Are you a Bernie, like... Are you ready to Bernie right now?
Bernie's one of the, 2 impressions I can actually do somewhat well.
Ugh.
Back also, when my voice was...
the mess I'm dealing with right now. I am completely rehauling all of a bunch of things for my storage, and so I'm just constantly in and out.
Nice.
But I got all my uranium glass organized.
Hell yeah, brother.
Shiny as shit.
You know, back when I was in like 8th grade, before my voice got deep, I could do like all the fucking Family Guy voices, and then puberty kicked in and ruined it.
I mean, folks, I want you to consider this. If we had just snipped this nigga's nuts off, just right before this happened, we could have kept like a Family Guy machine.
Yes, but
like,
a ton of women would be a lot less happy in their lives.
A ton of women.
Well, however many women there's been, which isn't a ton, but like is a few.
Listen, there'd be a handful of disappointed women.
Okay, that's definitely not true. If there's one thing you cannot accuse me of, it's being selfish.
I like how you say selfish. Like,
well, yeah, because it's selfish to not please your woman.
I mean, yeah, but taking possession of a woman is a little problematic, don't you think? Wouldn't it be better for us to all take sexual autonomy of ourselves to really seek the best desire that we can, and therefore I get mine, you get yours?
Ordinarily, yes, but this was a particular case where the possession was what was asked for. I'll put it that way.
You were asked to role play like The Exorcist?
No, not role play, but just the dynamic of that evening.
Of The Exorcist?
Yes, exactly.
Specifically of The Exorcist?
Yes, exactly. It turns out I am Rick Springfield, and just like Rick Springfield did in real life, you can look this up. It's a real thing. I dated 15-year-old Linda Blair. That's a real thing Rick Springfield did.
I mean, how old is Rick Springfield, though?
26. No, too old to be dating a 15-year-old.
So to be clear, you did not date a 15-year-old Linda Blair.
Yes, I did date a 15-year-old when I was also 15, but that's a different thing.
Also, I want to throw out here, Rick Springfield, y'all should have knew that motherfucker was weird when he took Jesse's girl, but whatever.
Yeah,
Son of a bitch.
Nick and I both have PTSD responses to the song Jesse's Girl for different
Fucking
reasons.
hate that song. Fucking hate that song. God.
What was yours? Wasn't it like your sister fucking spammed you with it or something?
Yeah, my sister's one of those people that, like, as soon as she realizes she could weaponize something against me, she will turn it to the highest degree and then act like it's the most innocent. Oh, I'm just doing a normal thing.
Yeah.
So she just constantly kept playing the same song on repeat. And my mom is a child of the 80s. And so you couldn't convince her that this was a prank. She said,
yeah.
How could you prank someone with Rick Springfield? Such a thing isn't doable. Like,
I have a PTSD response to that song because when I was at the formative young age of 14 or 15, I watched what is now one of my favorite movies of all time, Boogie Nights. But there's for those of you who haven't seen it, I won't spoil, but one of the most intense scenes in the entire movie takes place while Jesse's Girl is playing in the background. So anytime I hear that song, I just picture that scene in my head.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't that be a good thing? Because you and Boogie Nights go together like Coke and Boogie Nights.
Well, yeah, that's why I have a degree of fondness for the song, but it doesn't help that like when I hear the opening of the second verse, I can literally see in my head the shot that plays over that.
Fair enough.
Actually, last time I watched that movie, I specifically smoked a bowl right before the drugs deal scene just to see if it would like give me a fucking panic attack.
Because that sounds like fun.
Well, it didn't, because I've seen the movie so many times that I know how it ends. But if I'd never seen it before, yeah, I would have like freaked the fuck out.
I still think the idea is cracked in the head.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't have taken that chance with something I hadn't seen before.
I mean, I just like, that doesn't even sound fun.
It wasn't so much a fun thing. It was more of a let's test my limits as a person type of thing.
And you think you're gonna test your limits by smoking a bowl of weed, my guy?
I think I'm going to test my limits by subjecting myself to a panic-inducing scenario.
I mean, yeah, but like you want to do that? I don't know. Go smoke some fucking crack or something, dude. Actually, step your game up. Where's the PCP at home?
I want something that won't leave lasting damage to my body, and crack unfortunately does that.
Boo.
By the way, speaking of Boogie Nights, you haven't seen Lanterns yet, have you?
I actually have. I watched both episodes.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm almost certain that they were intentionally referencing Boogie Nights by the fact that they used two different songs from it in the pilot episode.
I can see your point. I do wonder how far we're gonna go with this, because the okay. What the fuck is Hal on?
What do you mean?
What the fuck is Hal on?
Well, he's on Earth. He's hopped up on the power of Green Lantern Ring.
He's just seeming like he's seeming altered in a way that's like, I need to know the source.
Well, there could be the whole parallax thing at play, but that's from the comics, so I don't know. I don't know if they're adapting that part, but they could.
I mean, okay, so but in this universe, he fucked up Sinestro a while ago. Doesn't that mean the parallax thing has already gotten brought up at least?
Well, he fought Sinestro plenty of times unrelated to parallax, so
Yeah, but he caught him. I thought for some reason those two things were related.
they probably were in some adaptation of it that I'm not thinking of. I'm not like an expert on Green Lantern comic lore. I mostly know like the animated movies and the cartoon from Cartoon Network back in the day.
Fair. I mean, talking about the good shit, that good shit.
Yeah, I did also see the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie.
What Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie?
I know. So there's something I was talking about this the other day with one of my friends. So the concept of in the comics, the Green Lantern costume is created by the Ring, right?
Yes.
So the concept of doing the costume entirely in CG, I'm sympathetic to. The problem wasn't that they did it all in CG. The problem was that it sucked. So
the problem was also Ryan Reynolds. Like, okay, I need to just be clear here, folks. There was a time before Deadpool. I know it's going to be hard for some of you to remember. There was a time before Deadpool where if you saw Ryan Reynolds, there was one of three reactions you would have. Oh, I love Van Wilder. Oh, fuck, it's Van Wilder. What? Why'd they bring the TV guy?
There is also the fourth one, which is, oh, the guy who was the only good part of Blade Trinity.
Yeah, that's like one guy. Come on, that's like one guy, and I feel like that guy knows. He like learned the name, and then he just stopped existing as that guy.
So I'm sympathetic to the whole make it CG thing. The problem was that movie sucked. So it's really funny that because the reaction to the all CGI Green Lantern suit was so bad, the show has gone the complete opposite direction and made the Green Lantern suit a thing he hangs in his closet.
I don't think that's the thing we're doing.
What do you think it's going on?
I think, okay, because like when I think of Hal Jordan, I always think of him young.
Yeah, which is funny because he was old for a sizable chunk of the comic.
I know, and I think that's part of the trick of this guy. That I think they're doing like the age grizzled up veteran. So then like the moment he goes full Boy Scout again, it's gonna feel fucking like you're seeing like a child. Or not a child, but like such like a stunning young man, and I think John's just kind of ripping that out of him.
Mm.
Where like the only way for it to not seem corny to people who aren't a fan of GL is to like almost go from a I'm not doing it, fine, one last mission type of guy, and then fucking drag him back into the world needs a Green Lantern ass bullshit.
You know
That
what I
was
really liked in the second one? During that big interrogation scene with the guy who looks exactly like Miguel Ferrer, even though it's not him.
yes.
Um, so I really liked that guy's much more realistic form of imperfect English.
Yeah, like what was the word he used instead of another word?
He meant to say imprint, but he accidentally said stamp.
Yeah,
I
yeah. It was like,
really like that. Because usually when they depict broken English, it's like a guy with fucked up grammar. No, he knows the grammar perfectly. It's just that because he's translating, he might pick
wrong synonym.
he might pick a different word that's not technically incorrect but sounds weird.
Yeah, like it's just not. It at the very least, it feels like someone picking out of a dictionary.
Yeah, like because I was trying to write that for a thing I was writing with a guy, and this was in the desert. And the example I thought of was he couldn't think of the English word for canyon, so he said these rock formations instead. Like kind of the same concept, but it's an idea I've had bouncing around in my head. So I was really excited to see it in a show like Lanterns.
Oh, by the way, if you wanna get a little help doing the thing that you're doing, it's kind of cheating, but run run a statement through Google Translate 5 times, then pop it back to your original language.
True. Yeah, I was now that would probably yield something a lot more fucked up than what I was going for because I was just going for slightly wrong. Because I was going
Well,
for a guy who speaks English really well, but not 100%.
if he speaks it really well, then like, I mean, what is speaking English 100% mean?
Like, like English is his second language, but he's had a lot of practice using it, so he still makes the occasional flub, but like overall is really good at it.
Bro, English is so many people's second languages. They shit on us. So many.
Jesus, there's probably more second language English people than there are first.
I mean, yeah, most likely.
I've never run the math on that, but I would imagine it has to be the case, right?
Between us and the UK, absolutely.
Yeah, and because well, like just China by itself. I mean, not that every Chinese person speaks English, but like people who are interested in professional jobs in China probably learn at least some English because it's really fucking useful to learn that shit.
You know, I'm just saying that is like day by day, not really the case anymore.
Less so now, yeah, but
I mean, you like know that old joke about the fucking 3 guys trying to break into a bank vault, right?
probably. But remind me again.
3 guys trying to break into a bank vault because they say the future's in there. Most incredible thing you'd ever see. And so they go, they try to break in, but they can't get in, and they escape just by the skin of their teeth. And they hunker down. They say, "Oh, we're gonna get the future, boys," and they devote their entire lives to it. I'm talking like for years. They work and they work, and it gets to the point that their kids inherit this mission, and they study, and after 20 years, these kids all go and they break into the vault. And now one of the old guys was left, but he's too slow to make it at this point. So after the kids come back, he goes, what was it? What was the future? And the kids go, I don't fucking know. It's in Chinese.
Yeah, I think we're heading for Firefly turf where we speak English with Chinese thrown in.
Bro, I just I hate to be that guy, but like, what is English going to have to offer in 15 years other than a bunch of good movies?
Yeah, basically what it'll have to offer is inertia.
But that inertia has been backsliding so fucking far. I mean, Dude, we got more Americans learning Chinese and Mandarin. I'm sorry, I say Chinese and Mandarin. You know what I mean. I'm tired.
Canton,
But
yeah.
we got more Americans learning Mandarin than the other way around for business purposes. We need that market. They know that.
Yeah, it will eventually hit the point, assuming that things progress the way they are and nothing crazy happens. I know, knock on wood, right? But it probably will progress to the point that there's more Chinese being spoken than English. I think that'll happen so slowly that that won't happen to me. But like
Oh, we're
my,
gonna see it in our lifetimes.
do you think so?
I think as far as business, there's
Well,
obviously
yeah,
going to
that's
be
what I mean.
a big social holdout in this country. That is 100% a whole different boat. But like,
Yeah, like I'll put it this way. I don't think I will ever have to learn Mandarin for business purposes, but were I to have children and or grandchildren, they probably would.
and depending on the field you want to go in, you might need to learn Mandarin for business
Yeah,
purposes.
nothing I'm going to go into will require that, but that's just because of my skill set, not because of.
If any of you guys know a good in-person Mandarin tutor, reach out to me because I need one, and I cannot do well with online courses. I
Yeah,
mean,
Nick needs to know how to say "Please don't shoot me. I'm with you" in Mandarin.
Jesus Christ.
Please don't shoot me. I hate this fucking country too.
Bro, I know how to do that. Not white. Not
True.
white.
Now, unfortunately, you are partially black, which means the Chinese won't love that.
Am I partially black? Or am I Australian? Or am I from that part of Japan that you don't know about if I get really good at speaking with an accent? Or am I Mongolian? Or am I just really Armenian?
That one is believable.
Am I just Middle Eastern? A few of these are believable, actually, because guess what, baby? I'm what Peter Griffin once called a beautiful Bruno Mars future person.
God damn right.
Like, I'm sorry, but I ain't getting caught in these labels. They'll be like, "You're part black," and I'm like, "What's black?" Ni hao ma?
And then, of course, there's the scene from Do the Right Thing with the Chinese guy. I'm with you. I'm black.
He's Korean.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Sorry, it's just very important to note because there's a thing with that. Like,
Yeah, it's been a little while since I watched the movie. Sorry.
no, it's all good. I'm black. I'm black. And it's like, listen, buddy. In the ideal situation, that is the case. When in the unideal situation, he flip flops to the other side. And the fact that we all think about that sometimes makes me very sad.
Assuming that you consider Red Hook Summer canon, which I mean, you might as well, because why wouldn't you? It is really funny that Mookie helps burn down the pizzeria and then gets his job back there.
I mean, it's not that weird.
It's not. It's just funny. It makes sense in the context. It's just funny.
Who runs the pizzeria?
Sal.
Sal Senior.
There's only one Sal, so yes.
Wait, what are his sons' names?
Pino and Vito, right?
Oh,
Let me look it up. Oh, what do you mean in a Red Hook Summer? Who runs it?
yeah.
They never say, because it's only a cameo for Mookie. We only know he still works there because he's carrying a pizza.
I do like how you thought I was asking in Do the Right Thing who owns the pizza shop. Yeah.
Well, I thought you were teeing me up for a rhetorical response.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Pino and Vito. That's who runs it. Yeah, they don't say who's currently running it in Red Hook Summer, but given that Mookie has a nice shirt from there, you could interpret oh, maybe he's co-owner now, or at least manager or something. At least I'd hope that he advanced up the fucking chain a little bit in the 30-year interim.
I mean, I just hope he put more brothers on the wall.
So the movie doesn't say this, but according to Spike Lee, which I guess that's considered canon, when they rebuilt the new store, Sal allowed them to put black people on the wall now.
Sal put some brothers on the wall.
Because the thing is, like, well, there's all this like discussion: is Sal racist? And Spike Lee is of the opinion that he is. I think it's more complicated than that. I think yes and no.
No, I'm going to say when you're willing to take something from a community and benefit from that community, but when it comes down to it, you don't consider yourself a member of that community, you consider yourself outside of it, you're making that choice.
Well, that's part of what I was going to say, is the way I imagine it with Sal, and this is like partially speculation on my part, but you know, his son is fucking racist as hell, and that doesn't come out of nowhere, right? And there was no internet back then for him to get radicalized by fucking Critical Drinker or whoever. So what I'm betting happened is that Sal was raised by a racist, and as an adult, somewhat got over the racism.
Wait, when you say somewhat got over it, what do you mean by that?
Like he hung out with enough black people that he stopped flinching when he saw them.
Yeah, but that's not stopping being racist. That's just learning how to take their money better.
Well, yeah. You're onto something there, though. He's onto something, folks. He knows what I'm getting at. Oh, shit. I can see the cryptid Nick prowling in the back of the house. I'm actually trying to identify which part of the house that is, and I can't fully, but I'm assuming the kitchen is back there. Oh, yeah. He can hear me still. I forgot about that. In the meantime, let me check out this thing here, make sure. No spoilers, though. I'm not showing you just yet. Okay. Oh, okay, that's good at least. Okay, what else do I need here? I don't really need this one anymore. I need that though. I'll pull this up too. Soup. So anyway, what I think it is with Sal, I think his father was probably like really openly fucking like violently racist. And that Sal's version of rebelling against his father and moving on from him was not being like that. But he still got that racist programming deep down. So if you piss him off enough, the instinct will come out.
See, I don't think it's about when you piss him off. I think it's the fact that in a casual, happy setting, when everything's good, he doesn't see a need to care about the community he's taking money from.
Well, that's true, but here's part of it is that there's at least one scene where he's by himself with his son who's racist as fuck. And he doesn't use any racist terms or really say anything negative. Like, he doesn't say, look, sure, they get a little rowdy, but their money's as good as anyone else's. He says, you know, like, these people raise their children on my food. You know, that means something to me, man. I think Sal does not want to be racist. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
because he doesn't break out the N-bomb until he's fucking flipping his shit furious, and that's at the end of the movie. So I think it's an instinct he tries to not give into, but it will come out if he gets pissed enough.
See, Sal reminds me of the modern white person that I encounter in my day-to-day lives, where they're more worried about the term racist than they are about problematic behavior.
There is that type of person, and maybe in the modern era, because this is 1989 as well, the politics are very different.
Absolutely.
And like, who knows what Sal's politics would have looked like in the fucking Bush or Obama or Trump eras, you know?
Well, like, yeah, sure. He cares enough to make sure, like, he cares about these people eating his food, but he doesn't care about who these people are or where he's at.
I mean, to some extent he does, but he cares about them on like an individual level. Like he has a
Yeah.
fondness for members of the community, for
But
individual
where's the
members.
care for the community as a whole?
Yeah. I mean,
Where's
that's
the
honestly, that's a
solidarity?
problem with America in general, the like factionalized, not knowing your neighbor's thing.
Yeah, but once again, 1980s. This is a whole different boat. This is a pre-gentrified New York City.
This is in 1980s Bed-Stuy too, who is not
Yeah,
exactly
no.
known for their tenuous community roots.
Yeah, no. This is him in the thick of it, choosing to push as far as his arms will allow.
I would imagine that if you gave Sal like spy movie truth serum, he would admit to you like, I don't want to be this angry, and I wish someone could help me not be like this.
See, but like, let me step over my soapbox for a second, because I feel like people need to hear this lesson in the modern day. That's not enough.
I agree. I'm just saying,
having some fucking lofty desire to not be racist in your life is truly not, and I mean not, enough. If you are not willing to do anything to back up your okay, you live in a society with institutional racism. Either accept it or don't. But
for the record, I completely agree with everything you've said. Continue.
If it's don't, then shit, go fucking live in the backwater. Otherwise, you're gonna hear a lot of people upset.
Yeah.
If we accept that, then we gotta go. Okay, next step. Now, it's not about your feelings on an individual level, because if that were the case, these people wouldn't have institutional racism against them. But because of that, fuck your feelings. Either support and help in like a literal sense that you can track and feel good about, or accept that problems are getting worse. I don't know.
So there's actually, it's funny you said the thing about accepting, because when Sal realizes that his actions inadvertently caused the death of Radio Rahim, you can tell that the guilt he feels is genuine. And so I'm trying to remember exactly what the line was, but when they're all looking at him and it's clear, like, this building's coming down, motherfucker, it's not just that he doesn't fight. He actually just says, do what you gotta do. Like, he knows he fucked up, and he knows, like, all right, me paying a bit of a penalty is fair here.
Nah, dude, what's fair is to take his life. But
yeah, I know. It was an accident, to be fair, but...
Was it?
Well, he didn't call the cops, but he was involved in the altercation that led to the cops being called. So he didn't try to kill Rahim, but he was involved in the circumstances that led to Rahim's death.
He also could have prevented it.
Well, of course he could have. That's why he's not the protagonist of the movie, But the thing with, I forget which one John Turturro plays, but the thing I wondered the first time I watched that movie, and the movie never really gives you an answer, is where did him being so fucking racist come from? Because no matter how racist you think Sal is, we can all agree Sal's not racist enough to have sired Pino without some other outside influence. So what I bet it is, I bet Pino's fucking grandfather is racist as fuck, and I bet he spent a lot of time with his grandfather as a kid, like young boys do.
Headcanon. This is just headcanon.
It is.
I could just as easily say that Sal's son got his heart broken by a black girl.
Well, that's also a possible explanation. It's just, I don't know, it would make sense that a guy who's kind of racist but doesn't want to be like Sal would have been raised by a guy who was super fucking racist.
I mean, I feel like Sal got raised by a guy who didn't encounter black people enough to even be racist. I feel like Sal got raised by like a boat motherfucker who was
yeah. But then
so Italian in the conversation, because like racism is a result of diversity, and like,
well, frankly, it's a result of the lack of diversity, really, because statistically, people who hang out around black people become less racist, not more.
Yeah, but that's the point. Is that, well, I mean, it kind of, because like, it's not like you get. Okay, how do I put this? When you have like a group that's so disparate and they encounter another people, they may be xenophobic, but racism is a result of intermingling to the point that you like think you know a person.
Yeah, or more accurately, like they're a group of people you hear about enough.
Yeah, or you interact with information regarding this group of people enough. Yeah, that's
You,
that.
you see that honestly,
Very valid.
like in old TV, like old TV, like 50s and 60s era. So obviously, those eras were, let's say, not the kindest to the black people who lived in America at the time.
I mean, like, it's weird because, like, sometimes they were just like, and here's the average Negro man working to get his way by in America. And it was like, oh wow, that's cool. He just treats us like people. And then sometimes it's like, and here I have an agenda, and so I'm going to go and start spreading early Christian nationalism. I'm going to start talking about how the lazy Negro is doing certain things and his community is different.
Well, yeah, I was referring more to the
transatlantic accent to make sure that you know I'm properly educated and therefore can be trusted.
Yeah, I'm more talking the viewers, honestly, but that is true what you described. So, like, back in say the 60s, you know, famous and or infamous, depending on your opinion, episode of Star Trek where Kirk and Uhura kiss.
That's not the Negress episode, is it?
No. That was the Lincoln one, actually.
I thought it was the Greek guy who said it.
If I remember correctly, it was Lincoln who says, you know, beautiful negress, and then immediately goes, I'm sorry, that's probably an impolite term in this era. I think that was it. Anyway, I might be wrong, but in the episode, so Kirk and Uhura kiss in that episode, you know, big fucking controversy in quotes. Oh shit, they had an interracial kiss. But in the 50s and early 60s, we had fucking Desi Arnaz as Lucille Ball's husband, which was also an interracial relationship. But here's the thing.
He's Cuban.
Yeah, Cubans, or just Hispanic in general, let's say, there weren't enough Hispanics in the American public consciousness for racists to really have a bug up their ass about them. So American viewers saw that as like, ooh, what an interesting little oddity, this strange Hispanic man in this TV show. Oh, but like, imagine if he'd been a fucking black guy, they would have freaked the hell out.
Well, yeah, this is also before like the development of the fucking Latin identity. Like,
oh yeah,
I mean, to these people, Cubans were fucking Castro and his rich buddies. No, I'm sorry. What the fuck's his name?
Batista.
God, thank you. I cannot.
Yeah, all those buddies got their asses killed by Castro.
Yeah. You knew what I meant.
Well, as Vosh once said, Hitler may be dead, but he lives on in the hearts of every Cuban in Miami.
Hitler's not dead.
Where is he then?
I mean, I imagine that like they put him into the robot suit of the year after every new Apple update.
True.
I mean, granted, the Germans aren't great with the software, but I mean, they really have those biometrics hooked up. Mecha Hitler.
There actually was an episode of Supernatural where they discovered that just before pulling the trigger, Hitler did a magic ritual to bind his soul to a mystical artifact so that he could be revived later.
Bro,
and then he does it.
It's really weird how like I feel like humanity does not like to accept the pure banality of evil, and like we really like to get this whole like Nazi ritual thing going. And like, folks, I hate to burst a bubble on this, Hitler wasn't into any of that shit. Goebbels wasn't into any of that shit. Specifically, Heinrich Himmler was into that shit because he was a weird dude who was obsessed with knighthood. And so, like, essentially tried to remake the old concept of knighthood using his weird fucking foundations of realistically Madame Blavatsky plus tangential bits of Buddhism. It's not really a well put together thought process, and you have
It's
a lot.
Nazi ideology, of course it isn't.
Oh no, because it's not even Nazi ideology. Because Nazi ideology is like oftentimes, well, no, Nazi ideology is itself built for the masses. Every time any other high-ranking Nazi got a hold of any of this shit that Himmler was spouting, they're like, "Stop, please, stop. We can't sell this. I cannot
Yeah.
sell your fucking magic Aryan super fucking backward flipping ritual." To the point that they put him in a. I'm not kidding you. They put him in a castle out in bumfuck, and was just like, keep coming up with stuff for us, bud. Yeah. Thanks,
That
Himmler.
you can tell that that's a late season Supernatural episode because of what a bizarre idea it is. But it's a good episode for two reasons. For context, the way the magic thing works is that when he like possesses the new body in the present, he gets all of that guy's knowledge as well. Which is just a convenient way to explain why they don't need to catch Adolf Hitler up on 80 years of history. But there's two great
Chatting
things.
with him?
What?
They're chatting with him.
Well, no, they do the ritual with, and then like after they do the ritual, it's like this guy they already knew who is now Hitler, but like physically he's still the same.
It's Gary, and Gary's now Hitler.
Yeah, it was like a volunteer part of their secret org, but there's two great things in that episode. One, Dean gets to kill Hitler at the end of the episode and then spends literally the entire rest of the season bragging about how he got to kill Hitler to anyone who will listen. And two is the fact that, and remember, this was written way before Elon took over. In his new body, Hitler, he's talking about all his plans for world domination and shit, and he says, you know, a century ago I had hundreds of millions of followers. Imagine what I can do with Twitter.
Yeah, I'll be a fucking bitch.
Yeah, and then Dean shoots him in the head, and it's funny as hell.
If you got like U.S. military gives you a blank check stipend, they say we got Adolf Hitler right here, but Red Bull has incentivized us to make his death the most interesting possible. And you have been chosen from a lottery because everyone wants this. I'm sorry, every single person wants this for the job. You get to kill Hitler in any way you want possible. You get all the resources of the U.S. military. What are you doing? The only stipulation is no, you can't use the nukes. We already checked. We would have just done that.
If I'm feeling traditional, I can do what those Soviet soldiers did to that one Nazi piano player where they just told him play till you can't anymore, and he played for like 23 hours, and then they applauded him and shot him in the head.
Ew, that's fucking lame. You serious?
Well, if I'm feeling traditional, I could do that.
No, dude, if I'm feeling traditional, I'm gonna take the I know for a fact the Romans did this once, or it happened to the Romans once. We're gonna go take a visit to the Swiss. We're gonna get every bar of that Nazi gold that we can, people. Every single one. And first things first. I wanna make some fucking shoes. Put that fucker in the shoes. We're gonna orient him up. We're gonna fucking brace his mouth open with some like horrible dentistry shit.
Oh god.
Oh, we're gonna get fun, bud. We're gonna get fun. So
You're doing some fucking medieval peasant shit to him, man.
check this. We're not done yet. We're not fucking done yet. So I'm gonna take his fucking heartbeat and I'm gonna hook that shit up to a goddamn motor. Now this motor is going to control the levee on a small dam up above, in which a forge is melting fucking all that gold. And the faster his heart beats like Saw, the more it's just gonna open up. So So he's going to just go and like by his own inability to control himself is just gonna completely first it's just gonna burn the shit out of him. But that's okay, folks, because we got space. He can cool down for a bit. Hot, cold, like a Katy Perry song, until eventually he'll just drown in it.
You're
And
just
like
doing an
wait
insane version of that bit from Family Guy where they made Quagmire watch porn and put the fan over his dick so that if he got hard,
well, that's just a Saw game. But well, I was specifically thinking of I know that they got one motherfucker in Rome with this where they took all the gold that he had around him, melted that shit, and poured it down his fucking throat.
I was thinking of that guy when you were talking.
Yeah. I want that, but just like this is Adolf Hitler, folks. We gotta really do it for the ages, and like
Honestly,
obviously, it needs to be like a spectacle too. So like, I don't want to put it in like anywhere that like we like might have a problem. So we're gonna put this directly underneath the Eiffel Tower on a second pitch. If they didn't like that idea, I want you to hear me out on this one because I'm gonna have to take a couple practice swings to make sure. But we take his body and we make sure that we drug him so we can get him limpy, loosey goosey. You set me up with one of them like Red Bull flying suits, and so I'm gonna jump with him out of a fucking plane right above the city of Paris, and I'm gonna dunk his head on the top of the Eiffel fucking Tower.
So there's only one problem with those. They're not humiliating enough. I want something really like depressing and ridiculous. So I have two ideas.
Okay, let's see what we got.
One, we don't kill him. We force him to star in Daily Wire original films until he dies of old age.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of still want to see that Jonathan Majors movie to see how bad it is.
Two, my other idea, just short and sweet. We feed him Taylor Farms lettuce and watch him shit himself to death.
Jesus Christ.
Have you seen the movie
Taylor
The
Farms.
Long Walk? You have? Okay. I'm thinking of the dude who dies of diarrhea.
I think about that guy because, like, I got some chronic stomach stuff. I can't tell you how like easy I would have had solutions for you. Like, the problem is how he was carrying his weight.
Yeah.
Like realistically, because you have to keep okay, is it a speed game? Well, what exactly is it have to keep moving or have to keep above a certain speed? What is the rule?
They had, well, in the book it was 4 miles an hour, but Stephen King realized in hindsight that that was faster than he meant, so the movie changed it to 3. So they have to maintain a pace of 3 miles an hour.
And that's just a casual walk, theoretically.
Frankly, for me, that'd be a slow walk because I got long ass fucking legs. But yeah, that's like a normal person's typical walking speed.
Yeah, so you can just walk sideways and shit while you're doing it.
Well, one of the guys did do that in the movie, if you remember.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't understand how you could have much of a problem.
What I don't understand is why anyone would voluntarily sign up for a contest when they know that there's only one winner.
Like, you're serious?
Well, like, it's not like other fucked up game shows where there's some way you survive without winning. Like, no, they kill you no matter what, unless you win.
But there's more than one winner, theoretically.
Not really, no.
Isn't it advertised you just do the thing?
No, like he says near the end of the movie, he's going to use his wish to make it so there can be multiple winners.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no, you're right. Well,
but yeah, there's no finish line of the long walk. They literally just make you keep going until you can.
Well, so I mean, as far as why, self-confidence.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, gee, like at least with fucking the Running Man or whatever, like, all right, you don't necessarily have to die to be eliminated. Well, actually, I think you do, but you know.
Did you watch Squid Game?
Actually, no, I have not seen that yet. I've been meaning to watch it for years, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
I I had finally watched it like a year and a half ago with an ex of mine, and like the first season was good.
That's what normally happens.
No, hold on.
Okay.
The second season starts, and you can tell like, all right, this is interesting. What's going on? And there's a couple celebrity cameos, which Korea has a blooming. I don't know a synonym for Hollywood in Korea. I know we have Bollywood in India. Do we have a synonym for Korean Hollywood?
Not that I know of, but you could say Sollywood.
I'm gonna say Collywood
There you go.
with a K.
There's
But
Tollywood in a different part of India as well.
yeah. I'm going with Collywood until someone calls me on this. But so I understand Koreans got a burgeoning Collywood industry, and like it's great, good for them. So you like gotta kind of put your big names out there in like a bunch of different projects. I get that, so I'm not even criticizing that. That is using your workhorses to get your work done. I respect it, if anything, because they did it quickly and got it out the way. It wasn't actually as problematic as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, there's
It
no
was
giant neon graphics saying, "Look, it's this person."
no, it was just like very clearly. Oh, that idol is an idol.
Yeah.
Oh, look, she isn't. She's here for thing, and she's dead. Okay, cool. Next, and like, but like she had her time. Good for her. Um, that being said, I don't think they have a good understanding on future plans yet. Because as the second season's going, you can tell at least one of the showrunners is setting up for three, and the rest of the house was not informed about this.
Yeah.
There's a couple of breadcrumbs where I was like, oh, I know what you're doing. That's a good idea. Oh, so you have that confirmed? And then like I went and looked into it, and it was like, yeah, they got no plans. I was like, oh, were you trying to like leverage your second season as like a reason or something? I don't know, but it's very clearly like the behind the scenes is not understanding their projects completely yet.
Yeah,
Because
that was kind of how Stranger Things went.
like the entire time I'm watching the second season of fucking Squid Game, I'm like, oh, or the third season? I don't know. Whatever the fucking last season was. I think it was third because they split
Yeah,
up.
the last was third.
Yeah, because they split up the second Death Game into two seasons. But yeah, as I'm watching seasons 2 and 3 of Squid Game, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Y'all are gonna make like season 4 and or offshoot, and you're gonna put that bitch in LA? That's cool as fuck. But like then they didn't have plans. And then I keep hearing whispers and random shit. And so now my headcanon is just that the guy one of the guys wearing a mask at the Squid Games who then just came to America was Mr. Beast. Fuck you, Mr. Beast. Like no, like bro, I can't say too much, otherwise I'm exposing myself on this. But Mr. Beast literally pays for a fuck ton of shit at my job.
Oh my god.
On like a corporate level.
Oh yeah.
And so like I'm constantly like inundated with randomly seeing the name of Mr. Beast. And like occasionally I have to explain to like very old coworkers who is this demon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play this clip as you talk for no reason at all.
Yo, honestly, I every time I think about this guy existing, I just remember the fact that he's like, oh yeah, let's take some starving mothers. Let's see how they can how long they can handle waiting in this car for their children. One more time, just for the people. But
My favorite part of this clip is that when he gets punched, you see light enter his eyes for the first time ever. Like, look at this.
talk about
Holy
right there.
shit, there's actual expression in his eyes.
See, I think it's great because you can see him looking to the invisible motherfuckers off screen who are always doing things.
Yeah.
Probably not. I just like to imagine they're Israeli agents because of how much suffering Mr. Beast causes.
I would assume so, yeah. Israel is the manifestation of hell on earth, so anything bad that happens on earth, you can assume they have a hand in it.
This is a completely hypothetical question. Hypothetically, if someone was, say, feeling like George Orwell was when he went and like fought the fascists overseas and like went and signed up for, I believe it was the French Foreign Legion.
Probably.
Is there like a modern equivalent someone could get involved with?
There is in Ukraine. I don't know about
No,
Palestine.
no. I'm not talking about a nationalistic border struggle between colonizers. I'm talking about like an actual fight against fascists.
Yeah, I mean, the Russians are fascists too, but not that the Ukraine government is fucking perfect or anything. But
it's not fascist versus anti-fascist, bro. Let's be
it's
real
fascist
here.
versus neoliberal. Let's be real.
It's fascist versus neoliberals ran by a reality star, and with both sides throwing late stage capitalism, heavy machine-based warfare at each other. I'm sorry, they're like y'all don't need my help when you have the ghost of Kiev, okay? Like,
tragically, that turned out to be a meme.
What do you mean?
The ghost of Kiev thing turned out to be fake.
How?
Like it was just a propaganda story they cooked up. Which isn't that shocking, but it is tragic.
I mean, the planes were getting shot down, right?
Oh yeah, just not all by one guy. They got shut down.
Well, I didn't think they were all by one guy. I figured there was one guy with more than the other guys.
Yeah. Anyway, Ukraine wasn't what you were asking about. As for Palestine, I'm not sure if such a formal organization exists. I mean, I guess you could literally just fly there and start shooting if you wanted, but
like, dog, you'll get fucking murdered by the IDF really quickly.
Oh yeah, no, you'll get murdered by the IDF no matter which way you slice it.
Well, I mean, if you went with like a competent fighting force, maybe not.
You'll get murdered by the IDF here in the U.S.
That's true. I'm just looking for something where, like, let's be real. I'm looking for white people who are getting involved, so it can't be played off as easily when the IDF murders them.
True. Well, actually, sadly, that doesn't make a fucking difference anymore.
I mean, it still makes more of a difference. It just doesn't make the whole difference. But it never did make the whole difference. But to be real, that's the entire Israel conflict, because it's not about Jews versus Muslims. It's about the fact that Zionists, which are specifically a group of Ashkenazi, ousted Arab Jews, Sephardic Jews,
yep,
and multiple other groups of their own people, because they were not supportive of the militaristic regime that was happening, including but not limited to the murder of a bunch of direct Holocaust refugees on a boat, because the ICC? I forget which of the fucking many military names the Israel group was using at the time, because they switched them all because they do fucking war crimes. But they blew up an entire ship just full of Holocaust refugees for no other reason than we gotta kind of keep our numbers specific.
So listen to this. This is something I learned the other day, because I knew that like in Israel they speak Hebrew and other Jewish communities speak Yiddish. I didn't know why. So Yiddish.
The whole thing, bud.
Yeah, so Yiddish is like most languages, a language that developed naturally over time. And not to say that Hebrew is not that, but Hebrew as we know it now is kind of
modern Hebrew is artificial.
Yeah, exactly. It's an intentionally reconstructed language. And the reason they did that, and these are their words, not mine, I want to make that clear. They believe that Yiddish is the language of the weak Jew and should be left in the ghetto.
Yeah, no, I encountered this because I do a lot of like reading of old ass books, and so sometimes I'd be dealing with ancient Hebrew. And so I had tried going and using a couple of services to get my fucking knowledge up. And like I'm talking with a buddy of mine, and I'm like just double checking everything, and he's like, "But you're gonna be real upset when I break this to you." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You haven't cracked open any of those books with the stuff you're doing yet, have you?" And I'm like, "No, why?" He's like, "You're learning Israel Hebrew, you idiot."
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck! And I tossed the entire thing out immediately. I was like, "Fuck."
My when I was a kid, my mom had this friend whose name I won't say, but she was, the family was Jewish, fine, whatever. We went to like one of their bar
I'm
mitzvahs,
not
one
gonna
of their
say what
kids.
kind of doctor it was. I'm not gonna say what kind of doctor it was.
I don't
Not allowed.
remember if he even was a. I don't remember what they
I'm
did
not
for a
allowed to
living.
say what kind of doctor it was. It was a Jewish doctor.
So I don't remember what they did for a living, and my mom eventually stopped being friends with her for various just interpersonal she's a piece of shit reasons. But I said the other day, like, I wish we could talk to that old friend of yours one more time just because I want to hear what her take is on Israel. I know it's going to be insane and disgusting. I just want to hear it.
See, I specifically remember in 2018 the first time I distanced myself from a human being over their view on Israel. And
It took that long?
well, because it will let me put it this way. Most of the people I know are like they're either ignorant on the subject or they get educated and they're like, oh, well, this is clearly a pretty cut and dry issue.
The morally acceptable positions, yes.
This was one of the unique ones, which I want to be clear. I have a little bit of sympathy for the concept. Socially Zionist Christian, ignorant of the actual facts of how Zionism works on a tactical level. And I'm like, oh, you just think these people need a clubhouse. And they just like walked over there and were like, yo, can we put our fucking like our church here? And they're like, I don't know what they call Jewish churches, but a church, And I'm like, yeah, no, I see exactly how you're looking at this. And they just let them do it. And then, they got the Jewish churches there and they built their houses and that's Israel. And it's like, oh, it's frustrating because I realized in this moment when they were talking, I was like, I'm not gonna win because they talk about how their church has a whole thing for supporting like Israel, and I was like, oh, dog, yeah, and then in the back of my head, I was like, where's this girl from again? Oh yeah, she's from Texas.
I've told this story before, but when I was in 8th grade, I had a friend that I was friends with for like 6 months before finding out that he was Hitler politically. So now, ever since then, whenever I make a new friend, I very quickly make some sort of comment indicating my politics to just get it out of the way, like the first or second time we meet, to make sure I don't get invested in a person who turns out to be a lunatic.
See, I'm surprised I wasn't giving you red flags because I mean I showed up immediately pissing off our fucking lib teacher.
Well, yeah, but trolling in a harmless way like you did is very different. And also, not to do the id poll thing, but you not being fully white was very helpful in that. I'm like, all right, this guy can't be that fucking crazy. Because, like, I watched you for a minute and I'm like, all right, he's smart enough to know that if the Republicans win, he's going on the train car. So he's not a Republican. All right, I can work with this.
He just has no care about boundaries. Okay.
Well, I mean, the way you pissed off our professor was just picking a funny nickname. Like, that's not that bad. It's whatever.
I suppose, man. I'm just saying I identify as Batman.
Well, yeah, but like you didn't make it as a fuck the trans people. You were just like, oh, we can do nicknames? Okay, then.
Actually, yeah, that's true. I could have been like an actual piece of shit, but like Apache helicopter said something stupid.
Yeah, which by the way, the first time I ever heard that joke, it was not in reference to gender identity. It was in reference to those like ultra specific types of sexuality that people will sometimes claim as their identity.
Sure.
So the first time I heard that joke, I was mildly amused by it, and then I heard it 5,000 more times, and I was like, "Oh, okay, you're just being dicks then."
My thing is, I always feel like I get what they're trying to say, and they never say that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I wish people were just better at insulting each other, low key.
True.
Like half the people I think who are acting transphobic on the internet, what they're trying to say is, quote, the person I'm interacting with does not seem to have a personality whatsoever. And they could say that. They could just say that. And you know what? I'd probably team and be like, yeah, this person don't have a personality. But instead, you gotta go and just like get weird about it, start calling them like a bunch of weird shit and like pulling out fallacies of logic. And I'm like, oh.
So I don't actually know this woman, but we had like mutual Facebook friends type of thing. Yeah. I once got in an extended, very intense Facebook argument with a black woman about politics. Do you know how many times I brought up her being black or a woman? 0. Because her point was dumb enough that I could argue with that by itself.
Just argue the points. Like,
I don't even remember what the point was anymore because it was fucking 11 years ago. But
if you want to be considered a good fighter, just hit above the belt for a bit, folks, and then I'll judge you on fucking jabs.
I am not left-handed.
Literally, I don't know. It's just so weird. Fucking. So many people lost the plot. Like, it's not like you can't be mean to each other on the internet. Y'all just gotta like pick and choose what we're fucking attacking here.
You've played GTA 4, right?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm still dealing with fucking backlash. Guys, oh my God. So yes. Larry's had to hear about this for like how long has it been? Like 2 days?
Yeah, hey, I'll pull it up. Anyway, the reason I brought up GTA 4 was remember the whole.
Pull this up because I need folks to understand. No, like, please make this clear that I'm not overselling this. Like, tell the folks how crazy this is, please.
Yeah, it
hasn't ended. No, but it hasn't ended.
So anyway, the reason I brought up GTA 4 was because I was going to bring up the Rush Limbaugh, Jason Sudeikis guy who like is bitching and moaning about trans people, even though he's clearly in love with one.
Nice.
Yeah, you meet a woman at the bar, you take the woman back to your apartment, you see the woman's penis, and sure, it feels good. It feels good when you're looking at it or touching it or putting it in your mouth, but it's not good for you. Hang on, I'm just trying to find the link you sent me to the post, but it's like a few messages back, so it's going to take me a minute.
Okay, can you just generally describe to the people from your perspective what the fuck is happening?
So, I don't know much about the anime that Nick is talking about here, but that's not even the one I was looking for.
Fans of the pedophile anime.
Yeah.
If you got any weebs in the chat, do you know what the fuck I'm talking about?
So there's some anime that apparently pedophiles love, and Nick pointed out correctly that pedophiles love this thing about the anime, and a bunch of people got very mad.
So mad, like very mad.
Okay, I found the post. Okay, here it is. Do you care if your last name is visible?
Just go quickly. It's fine.
Okay. So Nick wrote, OP complains about random attacks instead of discourse. OP calling them morons and midwits. Just say you defend pedophilic grooming in anime, bro, and stop the front.
No, it says 35 replies. That's not accurate. That's not accurate.
Yeah, there might be more now.
No, because they're all replies under the replies. Yeah. Because the fucking creator of the post replied to my comment, and then everyone started a giant fucking thread underneath it. So I still am getting repeated so many things about. Let's see, over fucking 40 people have mentioned me in their fucking comments. Let's see here.
Somebody said your profile pic is sus, even though your profile pic is you dressed as like a deer or something.
Dog, it's a Halloween costume. I got called a. I got called a. Okay, I got called a furry by a guy, and then he called me the thing I was calling other people. And then he started sending me a bunch of messages. One, I stopped opening them specifically because I got one that said he sent me an image, and then there was text. One of them was, "My dick is bigger. I'm taller than you." And so I'm like, I'm not opening any of this because you're clearly getting your rocks off, bud.
So
But
I
like,
think a lot of them were removed because I'm looking now and there's only like 10 total. So I think something happened and some fucking mod came in. Wait, hang on. It's most relevant are selected. Okay, let me switch that to all comments. Okay. And now I have to find it again. So give me a minute. Okay, 70 replies. Here we go.
I got one calling me a furry shirtless on a kid's site. First of all,
Facebook is not a kid's site.
Lost the plot, gentlemen. Lost the fucking plot.
I hate to sound like a fucking boomer, but no, your children shouldn't be on social media, and if they are and they see something, that's your fault.
Yeah, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
They did eventually, by the time I made my Facebook, this was irrelevant, but they did eventually institute a minimum age of 13.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
They didn't always have that. There was a time that like 8-year-olds were allowed to make their own Facebooks.
Yeah, but like, doesn't make a thing a kid's site just because you call it that.
I can't believe that back when Tinder was first launched, they let fucking teenagers on there, man.
Guy stopped replying once I pointed out that he's sending me sexual DMs about his dick size.
Yeah. Oh, here's the one you're talking about. Dude is a furry in a shirtless picture at a kid's site.
Pull him up. Pull him up. Put his ass on screen. Put his ass on screen, bro. This guy is fucking sending me messages about his fucking dick, dude.
Yeah, and I don't mind sharing his name publicly because he fucking made these comments publicly.
Yeah, dog.
Note that his education lists his high school and not his college. That's definitely worth noting. Also
click those view those replies.
This is a little pedantic, but can't you not be shirtless and a furry simultaneously?
Honestly, I don't even know, dude. It was a fucking Halloween costume. It was dope as shit. The fuck?
Wait, what the fuck? You brought up kids, motherfucker.
This is what I mean. No, this is what I mean. This is what the fuck I mean.
I'm old enough that when I see ASL, I think age, sex, location, not as hell, by the way.
It's mostly a black thing.
Oh, I know. It's frankly, it's most black things. It's now just become a young person thing.
And then these fucking guys who were doing that fucking logic argument I was complaining to you about. If all you took, you're incapable of deep thought. What?
I like that he says, go watch Demon Slayer solo leveling like the rest of the simpletons. This guy has a warped perception of what normal people watch.
Yeah, you can really tell how deep in the fucking echo chamber some of them are when they say shit like that, huh?
It's like, for a much more extreme example, it's like when you accidentally stumble across like a Nazi corner of the internet and you get them saying like, you know, your people are so disgusting, Jews use you as a bioweapon. It's like, you're throwing out that point very casually like that's a thing normal people agree on, brother.
Jesus fucking Christ. Dog, I hold on, pull that screen back up one more time. So there's just one more thing I want to highlight.
Oh my god, there's more.
Oh, there's a lot of them. People are really projecting their snow. Hold on, go up. A little more.
Here it is.
This logical argument I need to just talk about for a second. People really projecting their state of mind, huh? If watching media that acts on immoral things makes you equivalent, everyone will be murderers, rapists, and pedophiles already.
What do you mean media that acts on immoral things? I think you meant depicts, but you're fucking illiterate, so you don't know how to write the word depicts. Also, don't be a coward, just write the fucking word. Jesus Christ.
A bunch of fucking TikTok scholars out here.
Yeah, but he's saying pedophile uncensored, so like...
Because they're idiots.
Oh my god.
Dog, here's the thing. I really need everyone to stop acting like murder in a show or a movie is the same as rape in a show or a movie. It's
Yeah, I mean,
not the
kids'
same.
movies are allowed to show murder if you couch it right.
Yeah, bro, Disney shows fucking like Mufasa getting killed. Disney does not show Mufasa getting raped. Like, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like,
If you go super far back in kids' movies, they might imply that, but yeah.
but they even took it out the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Like,
Also, not to be like the well actually guy about fucking capital crimes. What?
Scroll on these as
Oh.
you talk so people can see all the fucking hate I've been getting. Just because bro, this has been outrageous for me.
So not to be the fucking actually guy about serious crimes, but in my opinion, murder is a less morally reprehensible crime than rape.
Yeah,
that's not to say it's good, but
it's sometimes tangentially justifiable. I got called the Lindsay Clancy of anime opinions, bro.
Oh my god.
Bro, I know, you see what these people have been. This has been crazy.
That's just an insane comment to make in general. Like, a woman fucking who's clearly not well,
who murdered her children.
Or didn't, as far as we know, because she hasn't been found guilty, so maybe the fucking conspiracy theories are true. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not getting deep into it. I don't mean like that. But who from what we think killed her children.
Yeah, so like that's tragic. And you're using it for
children by saying I don't like pedophiles?
Yeah, and you're using it for fucking social media clout, like.
And now scroll down a little bit, you'll actually see that fucking profile pic that everyone loves bringing up about me.
Yeah, you just look like you're wearing a Halloween outfit.
I'm sorry to say, I don't think that's a furry thing. That's my hair.
Yeah, you need a fur suit for it to be a furry thing.
Or
at least like an anime persona, like that you drew.
Dog, I had a good makeup artist that day, and I wanted to be Oberon. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's a really weird accusation to levy. 50 more replies. All right. Oh, well, I'm going to scroll a little bit further.
Yeah, believe me, that one came up a lot.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that on social media again lately. You can tell that the fucking Trump administration is having its impact.
Got hit with the R word, the F word, just like a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just like, really?
Now, here's the problem. There's tons of shows where the main character is a murderer, but those shows don't tend to depict that guy as the hero. He might be the protagonist, but he's not the hero.
These guys aren't understanding that the problem isn't depiction of an act, it's glorification of it without any sort of like admonishing.
You like watching war movies? Must mean you want to kill people and have war. Well, for some of you fuckers, that is what that means.
Well, it depends what war movie. I like watching FMJ. You like watching War on the Western Front. We are not the same.
Who was it? I think Spielberg, who said there's really no such thing as a pro-war war movie because any war movie that depicts it accurately will make you anti-war by default.
I mean, bro, like the only pro-war war movie is like watching Starship Troopers unironically.
Dude, okay, hang on. I'm bringing this off the screen for a sec so I can focus. So I knew that there were people dumb enough to think that Starship Troopers was unironic. What I didn't know is that it got horrible reviews at the time because the general audience thought it was being
they didn't get it. Yeah, they didn't get it.
And I get the audience not getting that because the audience are fucking cattle, but like professional film critics didn't get it.
It's because professional film critics have oftentimes been comfortable exploring ideas that they know are things that will be explored. The idea of Starship Troopers is leaning so fucking hard perfectly into it that like it takes a sick sense of humor almost. You need like a Mark Twain ass film reviewer to be like, this is fucking hilarious. I love this.
Dude, in the movie, he walks into the recruitment office and he says, I want to enlist in the military. And the guy says, oh, I'll grab you an intake form. Proud to have you, son. The military made me the man I am today. And then after saying that, rolls his chair back to reveal that he has a prosthetic arm and is missing both legs. And the camera lingers. Yeah,
do not forget.
Yeah.
After Carmen goes through, and well, because you're slightly changing this, because Carmen goes through, gets accepted for pilot. Neil Patrick Harris gets accepted for top whatever the fuck he does. Um, Rico gets accepted for infantry. Infantry, man. Infantry made me the man I am today.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and like Rico, they even cut to Rico going,
Fuck.
like, it's not subtle.
No, it's not.
The news clips in the movie also very strongly imply, if not outright state, that the meteor was a naturally occurring phenomenon and not a weapon.
I'm gonna point something out that I think is more impactful than I wish it was. They got distracted by the tits in the movie.
Oh God, yeah, true.
But because like I think like a part like so like let's think about this for a second. Because those tits are it's interesting because the soldiers simultaneously do not have the privacy or gender specifications that we would get in our current society. But also there's like a lack of humility amongst these citizens, as it were.
Yeah.
And
That's a
like
Paul Verhoeven thing, by the way. The original RoboCop also has a brief scene where you see the police locker room and there's women showering right alongside the men.
well, because it's a statement about power and like how you view yourself as opposed to the others.
It's also a good way to say we're slightly in the future.
Well, that too, but I truly think a bunch of critics got to that scene and the critical thinking part of their brain turned off.
Probably.
And it was like, oh, tits.
Hang on. So you said you had to leave somewhat early tonight, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay.
I don't have a ton of time left, but let's look at a couple more of these flames, just because I'm
Oh,
really
shit.
enjoying seeing all of these fucking haters.
Sorry, I
sorry.
closed it because nothing good was happening.
Oh, oh,
Hang on, let me see if I can find it again. Nope, fuck me. Okay.
hit your Control H and pull up your fucking recent tab. What's wrong?
Well, that's what I did, but it's just taking me back to main Facebook.
Boo.
Fucker. Anyway, yeah, I'm sure you guys have heard by now because I pulled it before it was old news. But yeah, a guy dressed as Spider-Man beat the holy fuck out of Jake Lang, and it was really funny.
He has a GoFundMe. Actually, he has two. We're not gonna link them, but you can literally just Google the GoFundMe if you actually want to do that.
The good news is that Jake Lang was not charged for this, but he was charged for this thing. That's why his name sounded familiar, because of this story. I knew that little fucker was had been around before.
I mean, we really just need more motherfuckers with morph suits.
True. So I also wanted to talk about a few things before we go. First of all, I watched this DS9 episode, which I'm sure you're familiar with. It was pretty good. It was really funny that Cisco has to like seduce the alternate versions of two of his friends. Like, I'm sure that made it really fucking uncomfortable when he got home.
I feel like Cisco, it was easier with Dax because he already has learned to have like a compartmentalization aspect to that relationship.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think these two actually fucked. I think he was just like being seductive with her. But I don't think they got the chance to actually fuck.
Plus, she'll be back around.
Yeah, oh, Avery Brooks apparently was very amused by the fact that he got to have sex twice in the same script. So the other one, and I've watched other episodes since, but these are the ones I want to discuss. This episode, I liked it, but it frustrated me because for the second time in season 1 of Voyager, I thought of a solution they didn't.
I told you you're gonna. I fucking warned you before anything that this was going to be a thing you're going to have to deal with.
So the problem with sci-fi in general, well, sci-fi this advanced, that is, like soft sci-fi, is that when you have such crazy technologies and characters who are so smart that they can invent shit, that means anytime they don't have something, you're kind of you're a little incredulous.
Absolutely.
Like, has Star Trek ever done a shrink ray episode?
No, not that I can think of.
The cartoon from the 70s had an episode where the crew is shrinking, but the ship stays the same.
Yeah, I
So,
can't think of it offhand.
I'm not thinking of one offhand either, but I just know, like, if the plot required them to figure out a way to physically shrink the ship, Torres would have that by the end of the episode.
Sure.
Or especially Geordi, for that matter. Like, I'm just talking Torres because it's Voyager. So that was frustrating because I was thinking that with the microscopic wormhole, like, can they shrink the ship and travel through the wormhole and then unshrink it when they get back?
The fact that they can beam anything through makes it a really stupid idea. I'm sorry, but like,
so this episode, they meet this other race who are super advanced, like they are, and they have transporters that have a range of like 40,000 light years.
Yep.
Which could get them over halfway home.
Yep.
And could potentially be used again when they get there, cutting the journey entirely.
What happened, Larry?
So this culture doesn't want to share this tech because they have their own version of the Prime Directive, essentially. And they even try to work out some solutions where, all right, well, can we use it this once without taking it with us? Because that's what they're really worried about, is losing control of their own technology. So I immediately thought of a solution. It would require them to abandon Voyager, but they were planning to do that a few episodes ago with the teleporter. So whatever, it's just a ship.
Literally, they're fine with abandoning Voyager if they need to.
I mean, I'm sure that would be emotionally difficult for Janeway because, like, the captain abandoning a ship means a lot, but, like, she'd get over it. She's an adult. So here's what you do with this plan. You got this technology. Now, they try to replicate it themselves, and they can't because they missed a thing. All right, that makes sense. So here's what you do. You have one of these guys, I forget the name of their species. You have one of their engineers fit the Voyager with the device that can do the jumps, right?
Sure.
And Voyager departs with either one volunteer or maybe a team, because maybe you need a small crew of guys afterwards. But a team of volunteers who will agree to not fucking talk about this too much. Boom, boom, jump Voyager home. They disembark. They let the crew take Voyager back to their own quadrant. They didn't have to share their technology, but they got the crew home.
Folks, it's very
if
funny.
anything, it's a technological exchange because they could be like, look, you're helping us out. We're giving you some new shit you don't have. We got the whole fucking... They try to trade the ship's library for the voyage home. If you give them the ship, it'll have the library.
It is so funny to me. Just because it's not that you're wrong. It's just you told me a while ago how you're doing this chronological journey. And when you told me I'm almost at Voyager, and I'm like, all right, now you're gonna have a hard time.
I like Voyager a lot. I love all the characters. I love the ship. I love the sets.
That's why it's hard, because it's a good show.
Yeah.
But you're just gonna keep getting ripped into this same fucking door of, guys, I could get you home. Guys.
Frankly, what it is, it's not a problem with Voyager. It's a problem with the format of television. It's the same reason they can never build a raft on Gilligan's Island, because the fucking show will end.
Well, okay, you bring this up. The entire premise of Gilligan's Island is dumb.
I know. It's old TV. What are you gonna do?
Well, no. I'm gonna argue against this because I have to hear that theme song still sometimes. So,
oh, right, because your dad loves fucking TV Land.
So I don't let that shit doesn't die for me. I still have to deal. So here's the thing: if it's a 3-hour tour, right? How much gas does your boat have?
Probably not that much. I mean, maybe it's fully stocked, but
assumably like 6 hours, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's presumably a limitation to that tank.
Okay. It's a pretty shitty boat, from my understanding. I cannot specify to you how much. There's clearly a circle. There's just a circle around wherever the fuck they left.
Yeah.
and you would just go on the line and you just draw the fucking circle and like you go, all right, now which of these seem to have weird sci-fi antics and a Robinson Crusoe style building? Why don't we just send a fucking flyover?
I mentioned it earlier, but maybe you didn't see it. Did you watch the Green Lantern animated series from like 2011 that was on Cartoon Network?
Was this how?
Yeah, it was literally just called Green Lantern the Animated Series.
I did not watch anything animated for Hal.
Okay, it's a great fucking show. If it's still on HBO Max, I can't recommend it highly enough. Genuinely amazing cartoon.
It's still on HBO Max. Oh yeah, no, I won't be able to get it. Oh no.
Well, I meant more like, if they haven't taken a blowtorch to it yet. But yes, you can find it anywhere. They do sell a Blu-ray of it as well if you're feeling legitimate. So great show. But the
Hey,
whole
folks, if you're feeling like giving your license plate to a flock camera, I can actually give you like a whole
yeah,
like, y'all can just drive up and actually make sure you turn on your Bluetooth before you do it. It'll fucking match your ID numbers and everything. Fucking hit that IMEI with that
I know.
Good whitelist. You know what I'm saying?
So officially speaking, the show ran for one season, but it was one season that aired in two huge chunks a year apart, so they really feel like two seasons. And the format of the show was very different in them.
Oh, okay.
But the first half of the season is about them, stranded somewhere in the galaxy with no backup, kind of like Voyager.
Them?
The Hal and Kilowog and like the one or two other characters.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know you were talking about the thing with the other people. Yeah, no, I have seen that actually.
Okay. So even as a kid, I was cynical enough to know that the show getting to last long enough to tell the whole intended story was unlikely.
Yeah.
So I was kind of relieved when at the end of the first half of season 1, they make it home. And then they told other interesting stories after that. I'm not saying Voyager would be a better show if they'd done that, but I am saying that I would have kept watching Voyager happily even if they were just a normal ship doing normal operations.
Yeah, I see.
Maybe they fit Voyager with a fucking transwarp, whatever the fuck, and so that's Voyager's thing, is going on the super fucking insane missions way out there. That'd be kind of cool, right?
Be careful about your theories because you're gonna get really close to where you're gonna be upset.
I know. And I know that they eventually revealed that there was another ship that got taken by the caretaker before Voyager. I know that part.
I cannot specify enough that like if Voyager came back, while I would watch adventures about that ship, she's going to jail.
Yeah, I know. I haven't hit that point yet. Janeway hasn't done anything too fucked up at the point I'm at yet.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Because like I understand where you're at, and like she's great, and like the best way I can describe it, because I didn't have like a fucking person telling me about this, but there was just this voice in the back of my head that started like around the time that you're at, where I'm like, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of opportunities here, Janeway. And I mean, I don't know, man.
I'm honestly guessing what the reason she didn't go to jail is the same reason none of the Maquis crew members went to jail. I think Starfleet just said, fuck it, this is complicated. Don't ask, don't tell about what happened.
Yes. But like the Maquis, it's time served for doing like
exactly. And also the Maquis turned out to be correct the entire time. So
yeah, I know. Like I love Janeway. I don't want her in a.
Might be I fell asleep. What happened to y'all's faces? We've yassified ourselves in tribute to Dolly Parton and Tim Curry.
We are curried people without pants.
Yes. I didn't have time to throw together a tribute to Peter Cullen, so instead I'll just do my best impression, which isn't very good.
I didn't have time to find my eyeliner, so instead, I'm just here in my prime form.
Hell yeah, bro. So the one other thing I do want to discuss before we go, and for some reason they're not bringing up any of the promo images of it, was the movie I saw yesterday, which I've been waiting to see since August 7th, and I thought I wouldn't be able to, but it turned out that it was getting a limited run for a few weeks before its wide run. Was this movie, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma?
Oh, okay.
It might clear things up. The director of this movie, whose name is, I'm going to hope I'm pronouncing this right, Jane Schoenbrunn or Schoenbrunn?
Yeah, 100% Schoenberg.
So they are the director of the movie I Saw the TV Glow from a few years ago. And also before that, the movie We're All Going to the World's Fair.
For some reason, I was reading that the description. I was just reminded of the lesbian space princess debacle.
Remind me of which one that is.
That's the animated movie that like people are mad that it's essentially like slop thrown together. And what was the specific thing about it? I've only been hearing bits and pieces. It's like they're pulling it from the theater release just because they got a bunch of backlash for being like just pander kind of shit.
Lesbian Space Princess, the Australian animated sci-fi comedy film.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard vaguely about this.
Hand-drawn backgrounds, 2D puppets, and so like technically hand-done animation, but the laziest you can go and the fucking cheapest bottom of the barrel.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the lines are disgusting.
Yeah, someone on Wikipedia, or someone cited on Wikipedia, is calling the movie terminally online.
I mean, I'm not like
Designed for viewers who once thrived on Tumblr and or AO3.
It's definitely for AO3 people, but it's for people who think that putting your Mary Sue OC into a show is representation and not just nonsense.
Yeah, that's not what this movie was. So this movie, anti-grass movie, true. So Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma.
Fucking rubber romance movie, bro.
I'm convinced this movie was titled this to make it impossible to Google.
Well, I mean, it's not gonna have a bunch of fucking AI.
True. So what it's about, Hannah Einbinder, who's the star of that show Hacks on HBO, which I haven't seen,
Yo, how
but is
fucking
apparently
German
really good.
is this movie? What the fuck?
I guess just those two.
Schoenberg, Einbinder.
Well, those are both Americans with vaguely German last names.
Bro, I don't know if you know this. Being American is the most German thing ever.
True. What the fuck? Lorraine Newman. That's yeah. I knew Hannah Einbinder's mom was someone famous. Is Lorraine Newman, one of the original SNL cast members.
Can I just throw something out here? Random food for thought.
Sure.
At like hip hop shows in the '90s, no one ever accused like rap people of doing a Nazi salute. Like even though you could be like,
yeah.
And I just think it's very important to note if I could be like, and no one's gonna make this comparison, there's definitely just something about like your choice.
Yeah.
Because like that's closer than anything, isn't it? Sorry, I was just kind of thinking about that. Like it's a very similar movement.
Sorry, I fell down a rabbit hole trying to find out who Hannah Einbinder's fucking boyfriend is. Apparently, he does journalism about Gaza. That's cool, I guess.
Hey, so are you watching Beastars?
I am not. It's okay. He's just autistic. True.
I just asked because you fell down a rabbit's hole.
I know. So what? So Camp Miasma. What it's about? Hannah Einbinder plays this like kind of young up and coming filmmaker. Like I think whatever her first movie was one of the ones where it didn't get a whole number of box office, but it got good critical reviews, so it kind of jump started her career a little.
Sure.
And she gets hired to direct the new reboot of an old, now defunct slasher franchise called Camp Miasma, which is very clearly supposed to be Friday the 13th. Like the fucking logo is the same, and it's set at a fucking sleepaway camp and all that.
I'm sorry to say, so far this sounds like a setup for a Black Mirror episode.
The premise sounds like a Black Mirror episode when you describe it, but then once you actually watch it, it's not like that. But I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to say too much of what I mean by that.
True.
So she gets hired to do the new Camp Miasma, and they want like a new, fresh, kind of wokeified take on it because like it's an old slasher franchise, so it's a little fucking dated and problematic and everything.
White girls running with their tits out type shit.
Well, that, but also like we see clips from the first movie, and like the movie Sleepaway Camp in real life, the twist in it is like in hindsight transphobic.
I don't know the reference enough to understand what we're saying.
There's a horror movie called Sleepaway Camp from the early 80s, where, spoilers for the 40-year-old movie that isn't very good, it turns out that the little girl who's been killing everyone is actually a little boy, and that her parents like went crazy when their son died, so they raised her as a son even though she's a girl, or raised him as a daughter even though he's a son.
I don't know if that's transphobic as much as like imprinting a dead person's personality on you, and that'll be problematic in any sense.
Yeah, it's one of those things that wasn't thought of at the time in the lens of trans anything, but in hindsight kind of has a bad look to it. It's also just not that good a movie, honestly. I've seen it.
True. I mean, okay. I haven't seen the thing, and I just from my 10 seconds of what I hear, I'm just like, it doesn't sound like it's about the person's identity. It's about what they're put on by their parents. And
yeah, it's more of a, oh, that looks bad in hindsight than it is a, oh, how did they get away with that type of thing.
Oh, true.
So anyway, Hannah Einbinder, or Chris is her name. She gets hired to direct the new Camp Miasma movie, and she's like, and the original for her as a little kid was like a formative fucking movie, right?
In a good way?
Well, yeah, in fact, like Hannah Einbinder, she's queer, and like that movie was a huge part of her queer awakening, was like the crush she had on the main girl from it. So then she's like, okay, the lead actress from that movie has become this like reclusive rich lady, but holy shit, she invited me to come to her house. She might be open to starring in this new reboot. So she goes to her house, which, by the way, her house is the old summer camp where they shot the first movie. She bought it decades later and turned it into her house. Or like a house with a living compound on it.
Yeah.
So she goes there, and it's Gillian Anderson plays the actress.
I do gotta run though, big dog. But go on.
Oh, it's fine. This is quick. Anyway, it turns into this like psychological, psychosexual relationship between the two, and it gets really like surreal at the end, where you're not really sure what you're seeing is literal and what is symbolic. But this is probably my favorite movie of the year so far.
Huh.
I'm a sucker for Jane Scobrin's movies in general. Like, I've loved the previous two, but I liked World's Fair and I loved TV Glow. I gotta say, movie.
My movie of the year so far, Toy Story 5.
I haven't seen it yet, actually.
A lot of people, I've seen people hate on it. I'm gonna give you my take. I went in here fully thinking I knew what was gonna go on. They actually subverted my expectations. They actually played that tablet in a way that I think was intelligent.
That's what I heard. I heard people say it's like not quite as good as the original 3, but better than 4.
I think that's tripping. I think when people say the original 3, that's lying, because 3 should not be thrown in there. I like this one better than 3, because this directly has a wrap up to a storyline that we've been waiting for since 2. So
okay.
Like very specifically, this wraps up Jesse's story, which is something that's kind of just been hanging in the corner.
Yeah, I would have seen it in theaters. The reason I didn't is because, and not that it matters continuity wise, but I never got around to seeing Lightyear. So I was like, all right, I'll get around to seeing Lightyear and then see it.
Nah, you don't gotta see Lightyear.
I know I don't have to, but I do need to see that at some point.
Sure, but I think not seeing Toy Story 5 because you didn't see Lightyear is really like just shooting yourself in the foot because you don't have a third arm.
Oh, it's not that I'm gonna not see it. It's just I'm waiting for it to be on Disney.
I got you. I got you.
Just because I'm being lazy. But before we go, for the record, these so far are my top 10 of the year. Lightyear put me to sleep. I haven't seen it. Great for my insomnia. Okay. So these are my top 10 of the year so far. I will put on the asterisk because I'm me. Star Wars gets an automatic slot in my top 10, but that's all it gets, which is why Mando is at the bottom.
Mando should not get a fucking slot, and you know it's a fucking it's just given that, so that's fine.
I'm just any Star Wars gets an dude. Rise of Skywalker's in my top 10 of 2019. I don't love that movie, but Star Wars gets an automatic slot. So does Indiana Jones.
I'm pissed off with the places of 5, 6, and 8.
I could stand to do a little more fine tuning. This is like somewhat rough.
Yeah, I'm just saying 5, 6, and 8 feels like particularly a little mean.
Well, here, I'll pull up the one where you can actually see my ratings on them. Like, remember, just because it's number 10 doesn't mean I gave it a bad score.
No. I'm just saying from like an ordinal perspective, I would have taken Obsession first. Actually no, I would have taken Bone Temple, then I would have taken Obsession, and then I would have taken Egg.
Yeah, I mean, I might rewatch some of these and fine tune my ratings because this is just like my rating off of one viewing each.
It's so hard with Egg because I enjoyed it, but I really don't know how much of me enjoying it was like if I was walking through a desert and then like I arrived at the edge of the desert and I saw the sewer from France, I'd probably have the greatest drink I ever had. I don't think that water's good though.
Well, I'm saying
I was parched for some Egg. I was parched.
I'm just gonna say it was good because I always try to be objective when I watch this shit, and no, it had a ton of stuff that would have really impressed me even if I'd never heard of Avatar before.
There's also a bunch of fucking shit out of nowhere like that.
I know. I'm not saying the movie's fucking perfect, but you know what? I had fun. I don't give a shit.
I had fun. I'm just specifically saying. I feel like I haven't looked at it like if I look at it objectively, it gets a lot different from how it felt when I watched it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And by the way, regarding the ratings thing, I could be talked into switching these two because I love them probably about equally.
I'm surprised you also didn't have your cum movie on here.
Spermageddon?
Yeah.
Well, that's not from this year.
Oh, but like you watched it this year, didn't you?
Oh no, this is my list of movies that came out this year.
Oh, okay, so they have the drop this year. Got it.
Yeah, well, this one technically didn't, but it released in the U.S. this year, so I'm counting it.
That's why I was kind of confused.
And also, I liked Spermageddon, but I didn't like it as much. I didn't quite like it enough for a top 10 list. Pizza Movie, I was shocked by how good that was. I did not expect that movie to be good, and it was shockingly funny. And also, for you in particular, I highly recommend this documentary, Beam Me Up, Sulu.
Okay.
It's about a guy who made a Star Trek fan film in the 80s and actually got George Takei to be in it. Which George Takei has actually done a lot of Star Trek fan films since, but this was the first time because it was like 1985. So yeah, between fucking two actual big budget Star Trek movies, George Takei also made an appearance in a no budget fan film made by college students.
I haven't seen it yet. I have Minions and Monsters. I feel like it's gonna end up being on that list. I've heard good things about it.
For the record, if If I didn't have the automatic Star Wars thing here, the next one on the list would have been Spider-Man.
Spooter Dooter?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the best movie of the year because it's not, but it deserves a spot in like at least so far my top 10. And yes, good for him.
What? Wait, hold on.
Oh,
What?
good for him that this guy actually got George Takei to do a fucking no budget Star Trek fan film made by college students.
Yeah, Scotty Wu really got that shit going.
They also had James Shigeta in it, who was been in a million movies, but as the documentary points out, is best remembered by modern audiences as being Holly's boss in Die Hard.
See,
Mr. Takagi. By the way, Beam Me Up Sulu is a little hard to find, so if you can't find it on your perfectly legal websites, let me know and I can direct you somewhere where you can.
Okay, bud.
Because I had to go to a weird place to find it.
Let me just see if I can do it on my phone while we're talking.
You probably can, but every now and then there's something I watch that's so obscure that even the piracy places don't have it.
Got it.
Yeah, well, there you go. You can also watch it for free on Canopy for those of you who have a library card.
Did you see how much movement of my thumb that took? Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm not faulting you. I'm saying this is such an obscure documentary that the guys who run that site might not have heard of it.
I'm saying if that's the case, in wherever you park your ship, you sir are in the wrong bay, and you got to ship off to find people who know better the waters.
There was one movie I watched a few years ago that was like that, where it was so obscure that even fucking Prime Wire didn't have it, so I had to like actually hunt it down on the weird site it was on.
No, I told you there's literally one thing I haven't been able to find, and I'm in the process of importing it to fix that. For
Which one was that again?
It's a fucking gospel album of anime theme of anime.
Oh yeah.
So like, yeah, that one I was like, wow, I can't even find this on like Russian servers. That's fucked up.
Well, I've mentioned before with the old Sonny Shiba Street Fighter movies, you can find them all over the place. Finding them not dubbed into English is hard.
Well, you just got bad ones.
Well, no, dude, I went everywhere looking for this fucking thing.
I got them shit. I once again did one thing with my fucking finger. Had to not show too much there. But yeah.
Yeah, but are you sure it's the actual dub and not the English version? I mean, you're better at this shit than me, so you might be sure, but
yeah, this is just the original audios.
Well, that could still be the English dub because original audio is kind of a meaningless term. But, you know, maybe.
No. As in, like, the audio language is in the Japanese.
Oh, okay. Yes. Do me a favor. Screenshot what you're looking at and send it to me so that I can know which site you use.
It wouldn't let you in, but once again, next time I come over there, I can just get you in. It's more of like have to kind of have a guy at the door type shit.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how it prevents problems.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That explains why fucking Prime Wire keeps getting taken down.
It gets taken down because anyone, if there's no fucking password to get into your door, then your Eyes Wide Shut Club is not going to have a fun time.
Yeah. I actually had to use my piracy site the other day because the disc I got from the library, as this somewhat often happens, despite the disc being in fucking pristine condition, it was like glitching in a few parts. So I had to fucking pull up the site and watch like that 30 seconds of the movie on my phone before going back to the disc.
Yakuza Wolf 2, Bodyguard Kiba 2, Shogun Shadow, Samurai Reincarnation, Swords of Vengeance, fucking yeah, then there's also a second volume, fucking Steps of Maki, The Young Aristocrats. Yeah, dog, I'm locked in. I'm sorry, but like, do you need that?
No, I just. Well, which part do I need?
The fucking the Japanese Chibas.
No, I did finally find them when this was a few years ago, but it was like a fucking bitch and a half to find them.
Nah, the funniest one was I had my fucking ex likes a strange person who I'm not even going to give relevant fame here. A strange person who we know for like one thing tried a directing career and made one movie. She's like, I've never been able to find it. It's impossible. You know, I saw it. It was only released in Australia, and we can try to get it shipped. And I'm like, okay, so you want to watch it later? Do you have popcorn? I'm a really big popcorn guy.
Well, I have a friend who he's another cinephile, and he also he's oh yeah. So I have a friend who's really into movies, and he also is bilingual because he did like the dual program, whatever. So he's like fluent in Spanish still. Like has studied abroad in Barcelona with no difficulty, everything. So whatever this really obscure what?
Oh, I just said I gotta reapply my blush. My shit I fucking fade out.
So I forget what movie it was he was watching, but it was like a really old, obscure art film that was like almost considered lost. Like it was one of those. So he found a copy, but the copy was he couldn't find one with English subtitles. They only I think it was like a French movie, and he doesn't speak French. Luckily, well, what happened was the copy he found had Spanish subtitles. And he was like, I can work with that because I speak Spanish. But the problem is he was taught Mexican Spanish and the subtitles were in like Barcelonan Spanish. So he could do it, but he just had to really closely pay attention to what he was watching.
Makes sense. Yeah, after fucking mission at that point.
I forget what movie it was. It was some old like 60s French new wave thing or something. He said it was a really good movie. It was, but I got reminded of it because the copy I did ultimately find of the first Street Fighter movie had English subs, but they were out of sync. So I'd have to like watch the dialogue and then wait 10 seconds to find out what it said.
Dog, like, listen, I used to have to struggle. I used to have to deal with out of sync subs on fucking like on fight scenes where I was like, fuck, which one of you said that? Fuck, which side's which? Fuck, what's the context? You're gonna watch that movie like fucking 2 or 3 times. And like all y'all new weebs have the time to come out here and call me a furry?
Yeah. You young shits never had to watch your anime in multiple 10-minute chunks in 480p on YouTube.
Like, granted, I wasn't because I'm sophisticated.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't, I would have had to struggle, folks.
Oh, yeah. When I was like 10 to 12, I remember occasionally watching like Naruto or Generator Rex. That's not even an anime. But like, yeah, a few episodes of Generator Rex I watched in 3 chunks on YouTube.
Oh yeah, the classic part 1, part 2, part 3, and then like you also gotta remember, folks. Unless you're thinking about this, the entire video was flipped backwards because then the copyright censors wouldn't catch you from having the recognizable images.
Yeah.
But what
well,
that
I
means,
did too, but this was before that.
but what this means was that half the shit you'd have to fucking pause and try to read backwards. God forbid.
And yet there's other times where I can find the fucking 2007 Halloween movie, the unrated cut with the full frontal nudity, just on YouTube in its entirety.
Yeah, I don't know. YouTube doesn't make sense. Also, which one of you was talking about I found sites? No shit, buddy. But like,
yeah, I believe A for Effort is the one who taught me about PrimeWire back in the day.
But like,
you never forget your first. Actually, my very first was Watch Cartoon Online.
By the way, Watch Cartoon Online sells subscriptions, bro.
Yeah, they didn't back when I used it.
They literally they won't let you see any of the movies unless you pay for a premium subscription. They won't let you use playlists unless you pay for a subscription. They have literally gigantic ad blockers and like, oh, like I had to actually fuck with some source code to still use them at one point if I remember correctly, because like
allegedly, of course.
Everything on this podcast is alleged.
Yes, I am but a simple tailor. I am definitely not a former member of the Obsidian Order.
Buddy, here's the thing. go back like a bunch of episodes if we're ever fucking quoted. We said this shit was parody. So
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck ever is quoting me thinking you're serious. You got a jester out here. I don't know. I don't know what you think's happening. I'm not a real person.
The
This
site I use
I
also,
tape this shit on every
yeah,
day for the show. Like I don't know what the fuck you think this is.
the site I use that also kind of sucks. They have a premium whatever the hell, but at least when you don't buy it, they still let you watch stuff just in lower picture quality.
Yeah, no, they literally don't let anyone see any of the movies. And like, here's the thing: classic anime movies are like such a gem that like a lot of the new weebs don't know about this. Just like single servings of fun shit, one and done, in and out.
That bilingual friend you talked about may or may not have taught me about it. Um, if his name starts with a Z, then yes, it was him.
Are we talking Latin American or Eastern European?
Western European white guy
Hmm.
who just also took the bilingual program for whatever reason.
Not often the person you get for the piracy.
Yeah, long blonde-haired, bearded white guy got to graduate with the additional tassel for bilingual.
Dog, I couldn't be bothered for any of that shit.
Oh yeah, I don't remember why he did it. I forget if it was because of family or just like because he was interested, but he did it, and it led him to a study abroad for a semester without a language barrier. So good for him, I guess.
I fucking paid for my registration for my LSAT, so I'm like officially good to go.
Oh shit! All right.
So that's
Also,
fun.
I'm getting my weed card, everybody.
I finally talked this guy into it, dude.
Well, you didn't even have to talk me into it. I just didn't realize it could be done without an annual physical visit to my doctor.
Yeah, wait, well, it was funny because I realized you're like you were holding off for like essentially antisocial reasons. I was like, oh no.
Well, not
Go.
even antisocial, more just because going to the doctor stresses me the fuck out. Because
Yeah,
like,
that's just antisocial and not wanting to call it that. It's fine, but like that's just what it is.
yeah, well, see, the unfortunate downside of having relatively good health and having pretty much never gone to a hospital for myself is that I'm fucking terrified of the hospital.
Well, you're also a hypochondriac who lived through a pandemic, and because of someone with immuno deficiency, had to be hyper aware and have never learned to drop that hyper awareness.
Well, I mean, I've learned to drop it. Like, I don't wear a mask every time I'm in a fucking building anymore, but like, I always have one on me in case someone coughs.
That's not dropping the hyper awareness. That's just that's like if you have a sword and shield, and like you're constantly walking around with a shield, and like someone's like, "Guy, come on," and you're like, "You know what? You're right," and you just walk around with your hand on the shield. You're not really dropping the awareness. You're just like in a stance that's a little
Well, it's more
left.
like I have the shield on my back.
No, I keep that motherfucking thing on me type shit. Like,
Well, yeah, I do, because sometimes I'm fucking at the store and there's a guy down the aisle from me, like, visibly sick with a cold, open mouth coughing all over the fucking tomato sauce.
I mean, but if you didn't see him, would it still be real?
Well, yeah, it would still be real, but, like, there's a difference between someone could hypothetically be sick and that guy is visibly sick and he's walking towards me.
But what I'm saying is, I can't see fucking germs. I can't see visibly all the shit in the air. I know it's there.
Oh, trust me, I could see the germs this motherfucker was producing.
So you've seen every South Park episode. I want you to go and rewatch that one where Kyle goes through the hypochondriac phase.
Yeah, I remember that episode and thinking he wasn't entirely wrong.
Yeah, I was really hoping that was the honest answer we were gonna get. So like, I mean, it's not bad, not shaming, but like, yeah, dude, you've just never learned to relax.
Well, yeah, of course not. I got a house full of fucking elderly people to take care of.
Yeah, but like, you still gotta learn how to relax.
No, I do relax. I just do it at home where I can drink for free and get naked.
People say like, oh, it's cheaper to drink at home. If you think the drinking is just about the getting drunk part, That's the road to alcoholism. It should be
Yeah,
about socializing part, paying for the like, bro. Like it's like I don't go to a fucking concert and be like, oh, I can listen to this album at home. No shit, dumbass. Like,
well, it's funny you say that because I don't go to concerts too often for that very reason.
yeah,
Well,
but
actually,
like if you
really,
did,
just the reason is most artists I'm not big enough fan of to spend like $50+ on a concert ticket.
valid.
If they
I
were
think I'm
$10, I'd go a lot more often.
I think I'm gonna go see the Gorillas.
Nice.
Just because like I'm fearing we're reaching the end of their digital run, and Daft already fucking broke my heart by never letting me see them, despite me actively watching for a tour for 20 fucking years. So, oh no, I'm never getting over that.
If I can't see it, it's not real. Sorry, Australia, if that is your real name. I mean, it technically isn't. It had some Aboriginal name that they fucking tossed out. At least I assume
Bro,
it
I
did.
met some Aussies. That's the only reason I know it's real, and it was everything I expected. Have I ever told you this story?
Yes, you have.
Did I tell this on stream?
If I'm drinking to get drunk, I'm either not happy at all or really happy. True. Tell it and then let's go because you have stuff to do and I kind of have to take a dump. So
The year's 2018, and your boys fucking living in DC, partying it up, fucking often out and about. I had just recently gotten taken out by the Latin boys to the Latin club, and it was my turn to flip the script and take them to the fucking club of my choice. So we end up at some fucking Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter. Shout out Mad Hatter down in fucking DC. Surprised I can remember that. But I remember specifically because they had this signature drink called a Mad Hatter. Gigantic fucking top hat, just filled with green questionable booze to
jungle
fucking
juice.
jungle juice with an understanding that you are for the jungle. Dog, they get much more lenient with pours the farther you get from New England because they realize you should just deal with it yourself, dummy. A slight offshoot of this, my Mandarin teacher once said to me, she was very confused about American culture because Americans are big on selling things. So why do liquor stores have to ID people? Shouldn't it just be on the person buying the liquor and not on the person selling it? And I had to look at her and be like, "That's the most American statement I've ever heard."
It
And I'm
really
not
is.
like, no, like you're literally so right. And this is how I know I don't have free market capitalism. But anyways, so that being said, I'm at this fucking bar. I'm walking along and I just hear the most outrageous Australian accent ever. And I'm like, you know how you can hear them shits from across the fucking way? Like they're yeah, so fucking nasally. And like a few of them. And I was like, what's this? This sounds like fun. I've had enough drinks in me. Let's go chase this down. And so I walk up, I'm just like, you guys from Australia? Yeah, mate. And they grab me, they pull me into the fucking booth. Come on, drink. Immediately they're like, start drinking. I'm like,
Authentic Australians.
well, bro, no, that's how I know it's legitimate. I'm like, what the fuck, yeah, let's fucking go. Hand me your straw, bud. Like, I fucking, I'm like, oh yeah, this is DC, right? How y'all feel about weed? And they're like, uh, fucking, I'm going back and forth chatting with these guys for a fucking while. Don't remember. I don't even think I was given names. I might have been, but like, it was the most random. Yeah, mate, you realize we're from Australia, so now we're gonna get you shit faced. And hung out with me for a fucking like half an hour to an hour. And then I just went on my way off into the fucking night, never to
Yeah.
see these fucking Aussies again. But I think about them sometimes because they were there was a collective of them, and they were everything I ever dreamed they would be. It was straight off of TV. They really are just like that. Like Project X people seem possible to me.
Yeah, Mad Max is a documentary.
Yeah, I mean, Mad Max is just the Outback, but
yeah. Anyway, I've got a fucking 7-inch grip on an 8-inch turd, so we should probably leave.
Well, folks, I gotta say, Larry is looking gorgeous with the lipstick on. He's got his 7-inch grip on his 8-inch rectum holder, whatever that may be. And I need to let him go and do that. But I will leave you all with this important wisdom. Fuck Israel. Fuck fascists. Fuck every single person who disrespects you or your community or your family. Realistically, it's all going downhill. The ship is sinking. If you fight for life rafts, we're all going to drown each other. We got like 10 minutes left before we're cold. So start throwing some wood together and we'll see what we can do. Good luck, everyone. I love you all.
Be safe, everyone. Grim Reaper's on a generational run. Well, hopefully it continues and hits the other Home Alone cast member who's 80 years old.
And hopefully we keep staying pretty. Otherwise, if you don't hear from us, we're out fighting on the front and or getting our bodies turned into soya for the factory farming chickens to eat. Have a
Hell
great
yeah,
night.
brother. We'll be back Tuesday at 8 p.m. Good night, everyone. Like the show, like the stream, subscribe, all the bullshit. You know what to do. Muad'Dib!